Oh, what a week! Oh, the craziness and, horrible things that have happened this week. I don't want another weekend like that. Hi, and welcome to Quilt Meets World, where we have adventures in piecing and joy. I'm Russ. Come on into my sewing room. A lot has happened in the last week, and my thoughts and prayers are out for anybody who has been impacted by the hurricane. Hopefully, y'all are safe. Hopefully, everybody that you know is safe. Most of everybody that I've been able to check in on just had like minor issues, but we will get to those in a couple minutes. So, what's happened in this past week? Wednesday evening, we did get a notice from the company that we're directing non-essential folks to work from home on Thursday and Friday due to the impending storm. The thing that I was just talking about. So, I'm like, yay. Of course, I don't keep breakfast in the house unless, I have a few days home in a row. So I was like, okay, I will go first thing in the morning, grab QT for something quick for breakfast, and then at lunchtime, I will do some grocery shopping to get stuff for the rest of the weekend and get some lunch foods and everything else because, if I'm in the office, I'm not keeping, breakfast food or lunch food here because it'll go bad. Lunchtime came on Thursday, and I was like, okay, it's time to run go grocery shop. Get in the car, get out of the neighborhood, and then my car's butt light came on. You don't understand, you will get it when you see the picture in scenes from the week, but trust me, it's a butt light. At first, I thought my tire must have gone low. I'll head to QT because I'm going to be passing that on the way to Publix to get grocery shopping done. And then I was like, I haven't passed the back entrance to the neighborhood. Why don't I just turn around there and do everything in the garage because it is kind of misting out. It's like a light rain and stuff like that. Thank goodness I did. I got back in the garage and went to pull out my compressor and inflate my tire, and I saw a giant hole in it. And I was like, tires shouldn't look like this. Because we had the storm coming, the hurricane, I was debating what I wanted to do. I was like, I can, put on a donut and deal with, the little bit of moving around for the weekend. But then I was like, I can't get in the office on Monday. I'd have to get the tire changed on Monday. I have stuff I needed to do on Monday. Yeah, so I ended up changing my tire and telling my boss, hey, I got to go get my tire changed today before the storm comes. So I got the tire changed and put the donut on. Did not mess up my nails. I mean, I'm kind of proud that I can change a tire. I'm one of the few people in my circle of friends who can. But I did it without messing up my nails. The mistake I did make was not quite realizing that the tire that went flat was my drive tire. Anybody who doesn't quite know, all your tires don't necessarily move when you are driving unless you have four-wheel drive. Most of the time, it's one of the passenger tires, either the rear passenger or the front passenger, depending on if you have rear wheel or front wheel drive. In my case, it's the front passenger tire that does the driving, and that's also the one that went flat. When I was heading to the tire store, things sounded really loud and odd and everything. And I realized halfway when I got there that, oh, yeah, it's because the donut's on the drive tire. And I probably shouldn't have done that. Probably should have, you know, put the donut on one of the other tires, moved the good tire to the front, and then moved the bad tire into the trunk for replacement and stuff. But either way, I got to the tire store. Awesome guy helped me out, but they only had three tires that fit my car in stock, as in three of the same tire. If you don't have the same tire on all four wheels. They kind of hum in a different tone, and it can get really loud on your thing. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll just do three, and then I'll call you guys later in the week or next week to see if you have the fourth in stock at some point, so I could just run there, get it replaced, and come back. They did it in like record breaking time, in my opinion. I've had my tires done at the dealership, and it's taken like 2 or 3 hours. From me arriving to me leaving was like an hour. And, they had to check me in, they had to talk about tires, they had to pull everything, like, they had to get my wheels off and load new tires onto the wheels. So I was very impressed, very happy with them. Except for the fact that I didn't have four tires of the same, but that's not really their fault. When I left there, I went straight and did grocery shopping because I needed food. I was hungry. uh, Realized why I don't like doing grocery shopping during the day, during the week. Just people drive me crazy. Like, there was two lines. One was really long, and one had just one person in it. I'm like, that's the slow checkout guy. I still should have gone into the other lane. The lady that was in front of me said that she had a coupon for whatever product, but she just handed the guy the entire. She's like, I don't know which one of these is a coupon. So he had to sit there and read like four coupons that was on the thing to figure out which coupon she needed for her thing. And I'm like, if that was me, I would have just said, if you don't have it ready, you ain't getting it. You can cancel that item in the transaction, but I'm not going to be the one that's reading your coupons. You need to understand what you're buying. I know I'm a jerk for that. So got through, got everything. I got, supplies in case the power went out for food. Yeah, I was just ready and got home and everything. As I went to bed, I saw where the storm was coming, and I was like, okay, I'll just brace for impact. Fell asleep. Woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning for no good reason. I end up turning on the TV, and the hurricane at that point is a little bit east of Macon. And, when I went to bed Thursday night, it was supposed to be heading directly towards us. So it kind of turned a little east. And I was like, okay. And I ended up getting out of bed finally about 6:15, 6:20. Got Riley outside because she didn't go potty the night before because she doesn't like to go in the rain. Little princess she is. And it was just, rain. It's a standard, I'm going to say, Georgia rainstorm that we were having. It was pretty solid of a rain, but I didn't notice any wind. I didn't notice anything else. But, there was that. Now, one thing I did notice is there was some fake news going around Thursday and into Friday about the size of the hurricane. If you take a look at this picture over here, I have to remember what side I'm putting pictures on, is trying to claim that it's got bands of a huge amount all the way up the center of the states. No, the bands that are up there were from a previous storm that just kind of got stalled over us. It was rain and rain and rain, but that wasn't anything related to the hurricane. The hurricane just kind of merged itself into the radar satellite images of it. So, total lies. So don't believe everything you see on the internet. Got Riley in and out and everything, and had the news on, and I'm just like, okay, it's supposed to be somewhere around here. About 6:45, the winds really started gusting. I started feeling it. I can hear the rain really good, and it kind of calmed down by 8:15. Like I had already showered and everything. I had logged into work. And, it was just slowly stopping and dissipating. By 9:30, it was kind of gone. I did take Riley out for the walk. She was very happy because she did 2 very large poos, which was almost dangerous because I only had one poo baggie. Thank goodness I did not seal up the poo baggie, because if I do seal up the poo baggie, she's going to want to do another one. During our team meeting, my boss, who lives west of me, said nothing really happened there. As I said, we didn't really have much until the wind. A coworker of mine who lives like on the east side of Atlanta said he got a ton of rain and quite a bit of wind, but it was okay. Another coworker who lives east of that was without power for basically all of Friday. I think she said that the power came back at like 8:30 in the evening. Like I said, everyone that I know throughout the entire Southeast fared fairly well through the storm. It was terrifying to see all the flooding and damage that has happened, and hopefully everybody that is impacted has managed to get out of there safe and start the recovery process. It's horrible, but I'm hoping that everybody's managing well. Saturday, I was on live with my friend Stephanie of Quilting with Stephanie Stitches. We worked on month 4 of Bumbleberry Pie block of the month, which is these blocks, which technically was just making the friendship star and then piecing these blocks from week 1 and a blank block to it to make a 12-inch block. There was 8 of those, so I was able to get a couple of those done during the live, and then afterwards I got the rest of everything done. Had a blast as always sewing with Stephanie, and I'm looking forward to the next one. The rest of Saturday, I was working on trying to get some of the things back in order and things organized for stuff, and I realized what I should do with the Fiesta layer cake that I had bought the previous weekend. So Missouri Star's latest tutorial was for a quilt called Millie's Quilt. And as I was looking at that, I was like, that seems perfect for these bright fabrics. So I placed an order from Threadbare for the rest of the fabric required to make the quilt, and that should be here. Let's see, it's Wednesday, so later today. Okay, I'm recording this on Tuesday, but you don't have to know that. So that project is now on my list of things I need to do. The rest of the weekend was fairly quiet. Monday, it was a quiet day at work, but that's when a little bit of excitement kind of happened. As I've mentioned, my boss is retiring at the end of the year. I'm, thrilled for her. I've heard great stories about she's looking for a house to move back to South Carolina and stuff. And I said, I'm going to be making her a quilt. And then I was like, what would be perfect is if I can get a photo of her team together and put that on the back as the label. So we had a little bit of a photo shoot under one of the landmarks at the building. I can't quite show that because it's got other people besides me, so I can't quite share those and all that. So I'm like, yeah, I can't share that, but I can say that I have done the photo shoot. I think we took like 25 pictures. The person who took the photos didn't tell us to say cheese, so we got a lot of pictures of us not really smiling. There's quite a few with my eyes closed. But yeah, I'm just like, okay, yeah, I forgot to tell him to tell us to say cheese. But there's like 3 or 4 pictures that I think are really good, so I need to get onto Spoonflower and figure out how to create a custom printing, just to print like a yard of fabric with the stuff, with the photos, so I can see how they look printed and just pick that. If anybody has any recommendations as to what type of fabric to use for a quilt label, please let me know. I've not used Spoonflower at all. They were at QuiltCon, but I was like, I'm probably never going to use you, so I don't need to deal with you, but now I want to use them. The final thing that's happened this week is I have taken a page out of my friend Stephanie's book. She recently set out a schedule for basically the entire month of October and how she wants to do her lives and everything. And I was like, that's a good thing because if I did something like that, I can probably get my quilts done for Christmas. I'm not scheduling just my lives. I'm actually scheduling basically every day of the week that I think I can be here in the sewing room. So that's, Saturdays, that is Sundays, that is the week off that I have in October. And that's also, a little bit of time that I do get in here every now and then on Wednesdays during the sewing with Stephen and Stephanie. It's usually my lunch break, but, sometimes I might be able to get a little bit more time in here depending on what's going on. So I took out a calendar for October and November and started placing in what I want to do for each live for the next 2 months and what I want to do for the other days. I am not good at project management, but I'm hoping that this will help keep me on track with this stuff because there's a lot of the stuff that needs to be completed by Christmas. And if it's going to be done by Christmas, it technically needs to be done by the third week in November so I can do it at show and tell. There's some stuff that is not being shipped that I can do for regular Christmas for the third week in December. But the stuff that does need to be shipped, I definitely need to have that out and try to get done by the third week in November. So that's what my calendar is hopefully going to do. The last time I had a week off, I did create a list and it was focusing on that, checking everything out, and I got, a whole lot of progress done. I think there was just 2 things on that list that I didn't quite get done, but those weren't priority. Now everything is priority. So I'm really going to try that again. Hopefully I'll be able to stick to it. We will see. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on the next Sewing Shenanigans date. An email hasn't gone out yet, so if you're trying to figure out why you haven't gotten an email, because I haven't sent one. The date will be October 13th. So pull out your calendars, kind of like I have my calendar out, and mark that date on your calendar. I picked this date before I had my calendar starting to be put together. But as I'm throwing everything into my calendar, it seems like it's going to be a great day to get me motivated because I have that entire following week off. I do have some other shenanigans planned for the rest of the week, so starting it out with some sewing shenanigans will be a lot of fun. The sew day will start a little earlier and end a little earlier. For the last one, I was annoyed that I was stupid and scheduled it a little bit late, and I couldn't watch the beginning of Stephen and Walter live. So I decided that, going forward, we will be ending the sewing shenanigans at 3:55 p.m. That gives everybody a chance to, have a little bit of a bio break and get their browsers turned to Stephen and Walter live and, start making them talk about football or something. How much earlier will we start? Not quite certain. I'm thinking 8:30. It'll just give everybody that little bit more time. If I'm ending by 30 minutes earlier, I should probably start 30 minutes earlier. We will see how that goes. And if I have to shift things again for the next one, I will. What am I going to work on this week? If I had my calendar printed in front of me, I'd be able to tell you, but it's not. I don't have Excel on this computer, so yeah, there's that. I do know that Saturday's 11Z's Live is going to be the next Saturday sampler block from my local quilt shop. It's a fun block, and I do have a replacement block for anybody sewing on their own from their stash ready. So I can't wait for you to join me on Saturday for that. I also need to finish the aforementioned calendar. I have dates in there to work on quilt tops, quilt blocks, and things that I can do, here to get things that ready. But I do not have anything in there for working on the long arm. And I also don't have anything in there for working on binding. Because I know these will have to be shown at Saturday Sampler because, I love to show off everything. I need to get them on the long arm with enough advance on there so I can get them loaded, quilted, trimmed, and then bound. So I need to get those put in there. And, I probably need to do all of that planning while this video is going live. So whatever else is on my calendar, that's what I will be doing. Because, if I don't drive myself batty for the next 2 months, Christmas won't come for some people. And some of these people, I can't not give them their Christmas presents. Anywho, I think that is going to be about it for today. I hope you were entertained just a teensy bit with my weekly shenanigans. If you wouldn't mind doing the things for the YouTube algorithm that it likes, that would be awesome. It's various things such as, liking and sharing the video, subscribing to my channel if you aren't already, commenting on anything that you heard in here, or, eating some M&Ms because they are just magical. Ringing the bell icon next to the subscribe button gets you notified when I go live on Saturday mornings and when I upload other videos. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and an awesome week. Until next time, stay happy and keep stitching.